Yo, 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 we back for another one here, y'all. How you doing today, Sean?
Man, not too bad. I was actually playing basketball myself. Oh man, get a little sore right now, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I need to get my ass right back out there for real.
Man, it feels good.
Man, bro. Let's talk about these Chicago Bulls, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about them.
It's depressing.
It's terrible, bro. 5-game losing streak. 5-game losing streak, bro. These cats, man, they just...
What's the problem?
Everything is the problem. Everything is the problem. But to me, the primary issue is the coach. The coach. I mean, I got blamed. I think a lot of people got blamed. I mean, I got the coach, then I got Zach LaVine right after that. But primarily the coach. The rotations are off. Guys don't get back on defense. Zach LaVine, he coming off a game with 2 points against the Boston Celtics.
2 points.
2 points, bro.
2 points.
2 points on 1 for 9 shooting.
Wow. So right now I heard that we're last in offense and defense.
Exactly, bro. As of right now, we are one of the worst teams in the league.
Down to the worst.
Exactly. You know, we want to think about it because when you talk about a team with some expectation, then yeah, you got to just count it as, worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely not how we expected the season to kick off. Well, what are we, like, damn near 20 games to the season?
Yeah.
These games pop every other day, every few days, and they are horrible, bro. They like 5-14 right now.
It's hard to watch.
Bro, terrible, bro. They lost back-to-back games with Orlando Magic. They just got their ass handed to them by Boston. And
it's like to the point where I don't even want to watch the game.
Man, it's awful, bro.
I'd rather watch other teams because I just expect the Bulls to lose.
Same, bro. It's just so disappointed as a Bulls fan what you see out there. Obviously, you're not going to win every single game, but these guys, man, they just can't get it together. And there's a multitude of reasons why. I primarily said Billy Donovan is the issue.
Yeah.
I still hold true to that. I'm holding firm to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine right after that. Just overall team chemistry. Guys not playing for each other.
Yeah.
Guys doing their own thing. Had my cousin in town, and he was pointing out some things, and we're just noticing, like, you can even have guys like Kobe White had the hot hand in some games against Oklahoma City, right? Mm-hmm. And then, he finished the game with 7 for 12 shooting from 3. And man was knocking him down, right? What does DeRozan do? He don't pass him the ball. He ain't looking for him like in the second half of the game, right? So it's like guys are like, man, I'm gonna get mine, and that overall is an issue. But the problem is when the teams do that, because a lot of teams do stuff like this. You need a strong coach, strong backbone to put guys in check.
To even things
And we don't have that.
Exactly.
He just looked like a spectator, like our coach. He won't get mad. He won't, call a timeout. A lot of times he just let him bleed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it won't stop the bleeding.
Like, where did he get this technique from? Like,
it's a trash technique.
Obviously not working.
It's a trash technique. And then, I got to give my cousin credit for this too. You know what I'm saying? We had to really brainstorm and say, whoa, Billy Donovan, right? Let's talk about him for a second. Whenever he's been really decent as a coach or looked at as, or, above average, I should say, he always had a strong point guard right next to him. When he came in the league as a coach, Oklahoma City had Russell Westbrook. Later in his career, he had Chris Paul for Oklahoma City. Then we obviously had Lonzo Ball, So every time he's had a point guard, it like pretty much takes pressure off of him, right? But when he don't have that point guard, he don't know how to make shit shake.
Yeah, or put people in those right spots.
He don't, and it's very frustrating for a guy that's been coaching this many years, man. I mean, he was an elite college coach. I remember when he won national championships with Joakim Noah in Florida, back to back, by the way, with Al Horford. So I remember that roster, I remember that team. And obviously that was many years ago, but this guy's been around basketball for so many years that he won't call people out on certain things.
He's way too passive.
Way too passive. There's some times I see where he give it a little push, but it's not to the level it needs to be.
Yeah,
our team needs to be whipped into shape. Like, they need a guy like a Ime Udoka.
Like you said, checked.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody to check their ass.
Yeah, and then look at how Ime Udoka has echo for Houston Rockets right now.
It's pretty solid.
They're playing super solid.
Yeah.
Earlier this season, they kicked off a 6-game winning streak.
Way better than last year.
Way better, bro. Way better. So, a lot of these things are in the Chicago Bulls' control.
Yeah. It's like we're beating ourselves.
Yeah.
Pretty
absolutely. And I think in the last 2 or 3 games, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, I felt like they just given up. I feel like they've given up, bro.
Because they're probably expecting somebody to leave or the team to be blown up, so it's like they're losing hope.
Exactly. I'm hearing like reports that before the season kicked off that Levine, DeRozan, and Vooch felt like one of them was going to be traded at some point. But I mean, listen, y'all veterans, bro. Y'all all been in the league over 10 years.
Right.
You guys got to understand it's a business. I mean, they get that, but you can't come in with that mantra. But then when I really psychoanalyze some things, we don't have, outside of DeRozan, the other 2 guys, Vooch and Levine, they're not really known to be winners, bro. They've never won anything in their entire careers. And I'm not talking about individual stuff. Vooch was pretty much dying in Orlando when we picked him up. They was always losing, right? So he was in a lot of meaningless games he knew he wasn't going to win. You know what I'm saying? And filling out the stat sheet, right? So the culture wasn't there. Same thing with Zach LaVine. He in Minnesota. We traded him for Jimmy Butler, and the rest is history after that. But the point is with Zach, he's not used to winning. Now, that don't excuse things. But when you don't win for so long, you just have like this thing like it compounds over time. That's how I would say it. That's how I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I ain't on the court like these guys, but I just think like when you got a winner's mindset, right, and you always coming close, like let's say Jason Tatum or something, you always coming close, got to the finals, you in the playoffs every single year, right? Your mindset and little attention to detail things is going to be exponentially better than like a guy like Zach LaVine who only has 1 playoff appearance in 10 years of professional basketball.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
It's fucked up as hell. But, I get mad at a guy like him because I'm like, don't you want to be more? Don't you want to succeed? I know you got your bag.
He probably wants to, though.
Nah, that's not the energy I see. Like, I've never seen now one time in his entire career, at least from my own 2 eyes, him diving for a loose ball. Yeah. I ain't never seen it. I seen him look at the ball while somebody else dive for it. He tried to stick his hand up in there. You know what I'm saying? Trying to prevent injuries or some shit.
Right.
But
that's probably what it is.
Yeah, I just feel like people don't have like the full agenda to win, and sometimes he strikes me like that. I don't feel that way about DeRozan. I feel like he, get frustrated. He just be like, I'm finna just go in the ISO. Like, you guys aren't doing what I want to do, and that's his strong suit anyway. But obviously, every player got some flaws if you really want to psychoanalyze things, like whether it be like how they come off to the team, what you hear from people, or can they mesh with certain players? I mean, the list goes on and on. But just looking at like Zach LaVine, there's a lot of times he just not there. He just want to score. He just want to get some buckets or whatever, and then if that's what you're about, like how Carmelo Anthony used to be, other than his rebounding was exceptional too. If you're gonna be like that, bro, you gotta be like a super elite scorer. You can't have games where you're getting 2 points.
Right.
Like, that's unacceptable. Like, we already know you're not gonna bring it defensively. So if you're not gonna bring it defensively, your energy need to be on 10 for the offensive side. And let me go back to Billy for a second, bro. I know I said it a few times already. Billy really pisses me off, bro. I'm going to tell you why I feel that way. Because he won't try something different. He keeps swapping Vooch out for Drummond, which is normal, right? But
he won't just switch it up and maybe put both of them in the game.
He won't do that, or he won't he won't let Drummond play a little longer because the rhythm is there. Right. The rhythm be there.
He's not a
guys got it going on.
Yeah, he's not a momentum and a rhythm guy. He will literally snatch the rhythm away from the team.
Yeah.
And put the starting 5 or whatever he feels like he has to put in, but that's obviously not the right move because you just gotta go with the flow sometimes.
Exactly.
Like whatever's working, why stop that?
Exactly. Facts, bro. Facts. It's just terrible basketball all throughout. I mean, that Brooklyn Nets game, bro. That game was
Embarrassing.
Bro, they was up by 25 or some shit in the first quarter. Now, obviously, I don't get hype over first quarter, right? Like, I know that the game is full of runs. Guys are going to make runs, and it's going to make it interesting, right? But you can't blow a 25-point lead in the first quarter just to be down 10 by the end of the first half, bro. Hey, how is that even possible?
Nah, that's terrible, man.
Bro, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
What's the point of having the lead?
Exactly. And they did the same thing up the court. They were just smacking threes. They very rarely was driving in the paint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These cats shot 30 threes in the first half, bro. They finished the game with somewhere over over 50.
Oh, the Bulls?
No, the Nets. The Nets. That's all they was doing was shooting threes. And nobody was covering the three like how they should.
Yeah.
They was coming late, and they was rotating late. Nobody was talking. And I don't know if the players are doing this because they want Billy out of there. You know, because I've heard, like, teams doing that in the past, too. Like, guys would just, like, tank a little bit just so they can get that coach out.
Yeah.
You know, you just never know. Like, but I don't like what I'm seeing. I know you don't like what you're saying.
There's probably so many things that's, like, we can put into consideration to our account.
Yeah.
Why they playing so bad, because it might be that too. It could be the players kind of like lashing out, rebelling against the coach a little bit. That's a possibility.
Yeah, because I don't think he got that locker room no more, bro.
He probably hasn't had it for a while.
Man.
To be honest, he probably haven't had it since Dan Alonzo went down.
That's true. And I mean, like, they put too much pressure on Caruso, and I feel like Caruso is fragile. They want him to, I mean, he's opened up his offensive game for this season, but they still want him to be the defensive player that he was the years prior. And it's just like a lot to ask from a guy when he can't even get the best players on the team to kind of like raise their defensive intensity.
Right.
They do shit in spurts, bro. If you really think about it, the Chicago Bulls can hang with any team in the league on a stretch. Let's say you give them a couple quarters. They duking it out with any team in the league, right? But eventually, they going to fall off.
It comes down to it.
Yeah, they're going to fall off, and the other things around that is going to keep them from winning that game. But they can go bucket for guys. They can go tat for tat. They can make it interesting.
It's like they're not like it seems like they're not a confident team. It's like, where's the confidence? Where's the what are we known for? What do we do? What are we good at?
Yeah.
What's our identity? That's
the key thing, bro. What the hell is our identity, bro?
We don't have one.
Gee, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Watching this team, you damn near need to just take all emotions out. But it's hard as a fan.
You're a Bulls fan, yeah.
If you're a Bulls fan, you just like, what the hell is this, bro? I'd rather y'all just suck. I'd rather y'all just not have no good players, so that way there's no expectation. Just bring it back to the Gennaro Pargo days. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, he was a good player, but when he was playing that era, you ain't expect nothing.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, because you expect nothing, you ain't get your feelings hurt.
It's worse when you expect to be good.
I'm just saying, like, he smacking threes. He has a couple, games where he was, like, lighting it up. You know what I mean? And, he definitely had a good career, a decent career in the league. But when he was on I'm not trying to say him particular, but that era.
Yeah.
That era, you know what I'm saying?
We weren't good.
The Eddie Curry era.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. When it was that era, like, you had expectations, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's harder when you got expectations and these cats not doing it every night.
It's like, what's the point of having a team?
Exactly.
Having these names that look good on paper.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah.
These fools play a good game once every 6 games.
And they're getting paid good money.
That's what I'm saying. And they don't even, and then you know what's other make me grind my gears more, bro? They don't even be looking mad they lost. At the end of all these games, these motherfuckers will literally be shaking hands with the other team. Like, there's no, like, I get it, good sportsmanship, but they be like shaking hands like, yo, man, so what, did you get that new car? You know what I'm saying? Like they be talking like,
what we on tonight?
Yeah, exactly. What we on tonight, man? It's Friday night. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of energy. Like, they don't be looking like, I can't believe you kicked my ass on live TV like this.
Right.
I can't wait to see you again. Like,
where's the pride?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you hear from all the OGs from the previous stories. Like, guys would be like, man, I can't wait to see this dude again. Yeah. He gave me the work. I got to get him back.
It's like the team is, like, defeated.
Yeah.
Like, they're probably thinking, we're not going to be as good as we think we should be, so fuck it.
Dude, they on pace. Like, people like they on pace to win like 30 games, bro. Like the way they're like what they're doing, because they only got 5 wins so far. They got 5 wins in damn near 20 games. You know, so if you keep upping it every 15 games from now, that's what we gonna have like 5 wins from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's looking real bad right now. It's hard to have optimism at this particular moment. But damn, man, they got a lot to work on in these like little punchlines they put out where it's like we just got to deep down and figure it out. It sounds so corny.
Yeah,
it sounds so corny. It sounds so like, not like you're not really engaged. You don't really care.
Exactly, they're not engaged. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, you're just saying like the PR stuff. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel. Like, man, bro,
that's cheating the fans, man.
Yeah, it really is, bro. You know what I mean?
Especially the people that's going to the games. Like,
it's ridiculous, man. Imagine somebody paying all this money for these games and y'all just giving out this kind of effort. You know, so I mean, at some point you got to fool. Like, say it's the fans. The fans are. Not to blame for how they playing, but fool me once, fool me twice, and I keep buying Bulls tickets, and that's on me. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be honest, sales deserve to be down as far as going to the game.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
So if that happens, they can't really blame nobody but themselves.
Exactly. And it's hard to follow this whole playing tournament thing, but talk about the Bulls. Obviously, they've lost every single game of the playing. They're not even like they've been eliminated from it. Right. But I know like, a lot of these teams separate from the Bulls, like the Warriors, they got eliminated. Yeah. I think a lot of these teams, they not really putting too much emphasis on it, because it's supposed to spark up the early part of the season. Because usually, like, I guess, like, guys are more lethargic around this time of the year. Yeah, and it's like, not much significance kind of thing. Yep. And usually guys are typically load managing around this time. So that's what they're trying to, like, avoid that and make it more interesting, changing the court colors and all that stuff like that. So that's cool. Yeah, and other news around the league, bro, separate from how bad the Chicago Bulls are. Bro, let's talk about Philadelphia, man. The dynamic duo, man. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, bro.
He's arrived.
He definitely has arrived.
He's definitely going to make the All-Star team for a selection for that.
Yeah.
But man, I love to see it, man.
Yeah.
I love to see it, for him. You know what I mean? Because we actually saw glimpses of this from him in like past years. Last year, the year before, even before Harden was there, he was kind of limited a little bit when Harden was there.
Yep.
So now he's just taking full advantage of this opportunity.
Yes.
And it's good for basketball. It's good for the 76ers. And shit, Philadelphia is a team that we have to consider.
Yeah, and I think a guy like him, it's amazing with like the right type of player. What I mean by that is I'm not talking about just like skill set. What I mean by that is the energy level. Like that's what I noticed about Tyrese Maxey, right? His energy level, his wanting to be great right now. His wanting to build, right? Because obviously Embiid is already there. Embiid just won the MVP, right? But as history always shows you need a complementary piece to help you get further down the line, right? Yeah. To this point right now, Joel Embiid has still never reached a conference finals in the East, right? He's been close, but hasn't gotten there. Yeah. This may very well be a chance for him to get there. Obviously, you still got Boston and you still got Milwaukee, but there's a chance that one of those two teams can see each other, in an earlier round, which would make the pathway like slightly easier to get there. If it's all based on seeding, right?
Yeah, right now they have a really good shot.
They do got a good shot.
They got a really good shot.
They do got a shot.
And the one thing, like you just said, Maxey, like you gotta love his gameplay because of the energy that he provides and the mindset that he has. Yeah, like that's just gonna add more fuel to Joel Embiid's fire.
Exactly. Facts.
And that's gonna probably have Joel elevate his game to a point that everybody knows he's capable of.
Exactly.
But sometimes, you might not be able to reach that because of, things in the game. But getting that push from him, man, I think that's pretty significant.
You said it. You said a mouthful with that, bro. Like, you 100% facts, right? He's the way that Maxey is hooping right now, because Embiid was already hooping like that or close to that level. Yep. It's just sparking some energy for Embiid. that the other guys that he played with weren't able to provide for him.
Yep.
The Ben Simmons, we know that story.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Harden situation, we know that story.
Yeah.
They was able to do things successfully in spurts. But I feel like, obviously, we don't know the future, but for right now, it's looking real bright for the Philadelphia 76ers with those two.
Yeah.
You know, and
then you still got Tobias Harris.
Yep.
You know, you still got a few complimentary pieces. So
Yep. But the funny thing, not funny thing, but the thing too is that, like, if they can keep this going, it's very possible that they might be able to get a third star, like a legit third star, that might want to come over or might want to take a little bit of a pay cut just to be over there because they see what's going on over there, see what's brewing.
I heard something on ESPN today talking about Zach LaVine. They got their eye on Zach LaVine.
Yeah, a lot of teams got their eye on Zach LaVine, and I honestly feel like he's more. He'll be better off in the third best player position.
Yep.
He can't be the second best player because that still is too high of expectation for him.
Yep.
You know, and he needs to be surrounded like with, you know, guys that's going to cover gaps that he's not capable of doing. Like, you know, and I mean, and it's not just throwing a shot at Zach. Every player in history of the game has tried to, like, the teams have tried to, like, put pieces together around what their skill set is. But he don't play defense at a high level. Embiid can, and Maxey wants to get after it a little bit more. So that can help a little bit. But Zach is in talks with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Zach is in talks with, you know, like speculative, you know, with a few other teams in the league.
Man, Zach, he has to just. I mean, we're Bulls fans, so we don't want to see Zach leave, or do we? I'm not sure. At this
mean,
point,
if that's the effort we get, then he can go.
Exactly.
He can go, man. That's not what we want.
So he has to do what's best from him, and just putting myself in his shoes, Zach, you gotta start winning. So winning needs to be your top priority, and I mean, you can go to LA. I'm not sure if that's the best place for you.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to make sure you put yourself in a position where you can win, because Zach LaVine could be like one of the best third options to ever play in the NBA. If he gets on a solid team, a team that could have potential to win a championship. Because I think he would be very comfortable in that third position, because he wouldn't have to have so much pressure on him to do a boatload of scoring, and he can just go out there and score freely.
Yeah. There's some truth to that, but I still need to see a lot from him. Unfortunately, in 10 years of him being in the league, he hasn't shown me a lot.
Yeah.
There's no evolution in his game, because even if he goes to another team, he's still gonna have to play some defense. Yeah. He may not have to do it as guarding the team's best player, but hell, he ain't doing that here.
Yeah.
He ain't doing that for Chicago. So,
but like you said, he needs to be surrounded by guys, you know,
guys that motivate him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to be in a system where your team is going to be uplifting you,
Yeah.
encouraging you, and got your back. So if you can't really defend like that, you don't have to really think about it too much.
Yeah.
You know, if he can just focus on offense, which he wants to do, obviously, then he could be a
So in other words, he'd be better off in a position where he could be more in a team defense, help defense concept,
Exactly.
As opposed to, like, you know, being a really solid one-on-one defender. You know, I just think that everything with him is just effort. Like, his effort is lackluster. It's inconsistent. And the thing with him is that he has his best performances when you don't need him. So, like, he'll have a great performance against fucking Detroit. You know what I'm saying? When he going against Milwaukee, he putting up 21 points. Right. And listen, 20 points in the NBA is still a really good game. But it's expectations that come with that salary that you're getting paid. So I'm not trying to sneeze over 20 points a game like that's trash. But it's mediocre for a guy that has more capability. That's what I'm trying to say.
And if you get 20 points, you still gotta have like an impactful 20 points.
Exactly.
You know, you just
an efficient 20 points.
Yeah, efficient 20. You can't just be going into the fourth quarter with 7 points.
Exactly.
Or even vice versa.
Yeah.
Getting a boatload of points in the first, second quarter, and then you disappear in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's more Zach-esque.
Yeah.
Like that what you just said right there, that's more Zach-esque. I mean, he's had games with it being the opposite, but, you know, he just has not been as fulfilling, I should say. Yeah. And I do blame the coach primarily on a lot of these things, but I also blame Zach because You know, he doesn't have the right focus. I feel like is necessary for teams to actually like turn that corner.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem like he wants to do it. So that's where the other energy. The body language that I get off sometimes.
His energy is like based on the modern NBA
Yes.
type of player.
Yes.
And you can blame the NBA for that, you know, because like this is what they developed.
Yep.
You know, this is what they produce.
He got a max deal of not doing a lot. I mean, yeah, his points was there, and he makes sexy plays. You know, but the thing is that a lot of stuff don't have any substance.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't been demanded to get to a certain level on the winning side, on the winning aspect, and galvanize his team before he got that max money. So in his head, he probably like, shit, I got the max money without having to do all that. So why do I need to do it now?
This is like
I should be able to do the same thing I've been doing, and we should be good.
And that goes down to the whole point that a lot of NBA players, well, just for me, I don't want to come across as a hater or nothing like that. Because who am I to stop a man from getting boatloads of money?
But why can't you hoop good? Why get that?
That's the thing, though. Like, that's why I want to say they get paid too much money, because basketball was better when these guys weren't getting paid.
Exactly, it was.
You know, it was.
The product was better.
The product was better.
Yeah,
way
facts.
better, man.
It's too many divas in the league, bro.
Yeah.
It's too many cats out here. A lot of these guys, they coming from, they're not coming from Allen Iverson conditions, bro. They're not coming from situations where it's like, mom had to sacrifice money to pay the light bill for you to go to, basketball tournaments with the new sneakers and stuff like that. Them stories that you used to hear a lot. And I'm not wishing that it was like that, because I don't want families to struggle.
Yeah.
But there's beauty in struggle, right? And there's grit in it. And that's the key part, the grit part, that I feel like is be missing sometimes. You got guys in the league who still got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got that grit, even with the way the era is played now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys in the league now that are just like coasting. They just divas, bro.
They doing it. It's obvious they're doing it for the money.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool, but you could still put the effort in.
Yeah.
Because they're not thinking about the fans. And that's what all this money's coming from.
Yeah.
It's coming from the people watching these games.
Exactly.
These games are getting sponsors, they're getting commercials, they're getting advertising, and all that money is funding the NBA. But we live in a world now where everybody's thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
it's like, all right, you can get your millions, but that should be motivation. Like, damn, let me go hard, let me put the work in.
Exactly.
But it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Because we in the entitled generation.
And they go into the NBA just to get the money.
Yep.
They're not even going in for the game, the love of the game. Probably a lot of these guys in the NBA probably don't even have the passion or the love of the game. They used to have that slogan in the NBA back in the day, for the love of the game. They got to bring that shit back.
Exactly.
Maybe that'll spark up.
Exactly. I mean, remember that? And where that slogan go? That slogan's gone. Yeah. All it's about, just like what Bone Thugs and Harmony say, for the love of money.
This is a business.
That's all it's about.
And that's why you see all these bogus calls that they started to make, years ago now, because the NBA it's been changed. So maybe like 15 years ago, they started implementing all this. And you can't hand check and all these bogus calls just to jack up the scores, to make it seem like scoring is the best thing about the sport.
Yeah. Because a lot of casuals follow stuff like that, and a lot of guys don't even watch the games no more. They're just looking at the box sheet. And I get it. There's like, if it's 7 games going on at one time, you're just gonna have to pick one. So you're not really focused on like every one of those games at one time. You do your best to go see the reruns and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people nowadays that don't even really watch basketball like a whole game. What they'll do is they'll just like, let me just catch a little bit of highlights. And listen, everybody does it. But we live in the box score era now, right? And that's the problem with that too.
The stats and the betting.
Yeah, the stats and the betting, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And, these players well aware of all that stuff.
And it's fucked up because, like, you hate to make this like a race thing, right?
Yeah.
But look at hockey.
Yeah.
These guys literally beat the shit out of each other. No consequences. Everybody amped up. The fans love it, right? But now in the NBA, you can barely even touch a guy.
Facts.
Why? It didn't used to be like that.
No, man. You know what it is, man.
You know what I mean?
You know exactly what it is.
And my thing is, I mean, we're not gonna be able to change this. We're just talking. But I feel like the NBA will be better if it was they bring the grit back.
Yeah, they have to bring the grit back.
Because if you think about it, some of the best games that somebody could watch could be like a street game. Just out there hooping. You gotta call your own fouls. You ain't got a ref. I'm not saying you gotta take it that far. I'm just saying, like, if you just let them play, you'll get good basketball.
Yeah, because nowadays, like, I'm looking at these games, these referees, they literally, are not even considering the fans themselves. So the fans are paying to see the best players in the league play. So you already had exactly. It's weird. It's like first we was criticizing the players and saying, "Listen, you ain't playing, right? What about the kid who only had enough money or family who had enough money? That story, right? Which is a true story. All right, now they trying to fix that, but in the process of trying to fix that, the referees are causing players to get ejected for little to nothing. Like Giannis had a game. The man literally dunked on the player, He shot. He was like, you know what I'm saying? That's ejected. Like what? Like you can't and that's what I'm talking about. Y'all literally are trying to basically refrain from guys from having intensity, and then they weird with it where they allow certain guys who have a reputation to have intensity. Like they'll let Draymond go a little bit over.
Yeah,
right.
Talk shit to the ref.
Exactly. They'll let him do it, but then he is crazy in his own right to me a little bit because they limit other players in the league from doing what he would be able to do, right? But then he would say something in the media like, I'm criticized for my reputation. No, you're allowed to get more because of your reputation at times. It's actually a big mix of both. Yeah, they quick to draw that whistle because of your reputation, but they also allow a lot of stuff to slide more because of your reputation. Right. But if somebody else do them same things, they out of there. Because
he talk shit, he'll get a check and then keep talking shit.
Exactly.
Or even step it up.
Exactly.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
Exactly. And listen, I like the intensity he brings. I just want the referees to hold back and let everybody do that. Yeah. So that way we can really see who really about that action. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want them to do that. I'm not asking for malice in the palace. Right. but what I am asking for. Yeah. but that era was intense, man, because you knew guys was just getting after it.
Wanted to win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all these guys millionaires, right? Yeah. I just feel like what's also changed is that when you talk about the money aspect, back then it was just great money. I mean, when you talk about millions of dollars versus an average person out here, that's worlds difference.
$15 million.
15 to 20 million, right?
That could still keep you a little humble.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Now they getting 200 mil. You see, that's a big difference, bro. In itself. Exactly. It's crazy, bro.
You telling me I can make $250 million and I don't have to win a game? Just guaranteed money? I could literally get hurt.
Exactly.
I can go 0 for 1,000 the whole season.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting my money.
Exactly.
What's that?
It taints the game, bro. It taints the game, bro. It taints the game because guys know, listen, I'm getting this money. My agent pulled off the heist job of the century. Yeah. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for taking care of my family. And that definitely is, if I'm in their shoes, priority is me getting paid. Right. I ain't gonna lie. Behind closed doors, it is. Mm-hmm. But I'm also gonna make me getting paid and my effort on the court parallel. It's gonna be parallel, so you're gonna always know, that's why that guy got paid. Right. No one questioned why Kevin Garnett had the highest salary in league history at that time. Mm-hmm. He got paid more than Jordan. Now, obviously, it was years later when Jordan no longer was playing, and guys before him was no longer playing. But when he got $120 million contract, people was like, "That's crazy." He initially got criticism, but it faded away because people was like, "Yeah, bro, it's Garnett, it's KG."
You couldn't doubt
the effort was there. Yeah. I'm gonna really question this man's effort every game. You know what I mean?
Undeniable.
Yeah, bro. So they doing their best they job. They trying to get the viewers back. But the funny thing is the things that's gonna get the viewers back is make it how it used to be.
Exactly.
That's how I was you keep trying to reinvent the wheel with all this tournament stuff. That ain't really what's the problem.
I mean, that's okay, that's cool, but that's not the problem.
No, that's not the problem.
And that's a testament of too much anything is not good.
Yeah.
You can literally die from drinking too much water. So too much money is just gonna make the game worse.
Yeah.
And then an example of that is sometimes you see the best NBA product or talent when these guys are trying to be on the come up.
Yeah.
Trying to get that max money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when you're going to really see these guys ball.
Yeah.
When they trying to get the dollars. And then when they get it, they on cruise control.
Yeah.
It's just like, what am I doing it for?
Yeah. They just doing enough to keep the contract or to get a renewal. You know what I mean? Or no, if they get close to like that renewal, then they going to start setting games out because they want to make sure they protect their body to make sure that they good for their next contract. Right. It's like little stuff like that, man. And it's just, overall, like, I think just more of the business side has been wide open book than it was in yesteryears. Like yesteryears, it was like you felt like, man, like these dudes love the game, like I love the game, and they do. That's why they're there. Like that's why they're there. But it just felt like it was more like entertaining you as a fan, business secondary. Yeah. Now it's like no, business first. Business, yep. And we'll entertain you in the process if we can, but we're trying to get this business first. That's how it comes off to me. So,
money ruins everything.
Yeah.
The greed of money.
Yeah.
And the NBA and these leagues, well, the NBA in particular, I feel like they like the front runner from this shit.
They are.
To be honest.
They are.
Because they always trying to be the pioneer of the business world and sports, the first to do something in a particular league.
Now, they're not the first with these massive contracts. Baseball always had that money. Yeah. But from how you talking about from a marketability standpoint, you're absolutely right. Because they lead that four major sport. Like, they lead that herd in that. Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do, bro. But, yeah, man, I think that was a good talk with that and how we feel about the league. It's always some bright spots, but overall, it's not the game that we used to seeing. And that come from even like older guys, bro. I was looking at Rasheed Wallace on a podcast, and he was just like, man, the game ain't the same. He had a lot to say, actually, but, how we feel is mutual with other people that used to play.
It's watered down.
Yeah, it's watered down, for real. But some surprise things I want to talk about real quick. Okay. The league, man. The Orlando Magic, got to give them some credit, bro. They are really surprising right now. Mm-hmm. Currently, right now, they have won 9 of their last 10 games. Mm-hmm. Coaching, bro.
Who's the coach over there? I was just gonna say.
Let's talk about it. We're gonna look at their coach real quick. Jamal Mosley.
Okay.
I don't know much about Jamal Mosley, but I did see a handful of games with the Orlando Magic. A couple of them against the Chicago Bulls.
Hey man, he's a black coach. The target already on your back.
Exactly. And the energy with these black coaches, the Dwayne Casey's, the Doc Rivers, and you know what I'm saying, Ime Udoka's, like these guys, they really like
hold you accountable.
They hold you accountable. They gonna talk to you like that. And I think like they presence in the locker room, like it's like, yeah, bro, like this is what it is. The other thing too is the players respect those guys. Yep. But when I watch them coach, he's really coaching. He's not just looking at plays and doing this like what I call soft parenting. Like if he sees something wrong, he like, hey, get over here. You know what I'm saying? Like talking to his guys in the middle of huddles and stuff like that. Like all the stuff that you see all the elite coaches doing. Real coach stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's definitely something that's warranted. I'm happy to see that. So Orlando Magic is playing phenomenal right now, bro. Like they playing well. Currently right now they leading. They over the Bucks right now. So they killing it, and that's my surprise team shocker right now. Everything else is kind of like standard. Yeah. The Pacers are doing pretty good. Tyrese Halliburton is balling. He's put up a highlight reel for the damn near feel like for the whole season already. Where he going at it. But then when you look at the Western Conference, bro, Timberwolves are off to a high start, bro. They're the number 1 in the Western Conference right now.
That's wild.
Yeah, bro. They just surpassed the Denver Nuggets. But Denver, bro, they are really, really good. I'm not trying to like not talk about Minnesota right now. Yeah. But Reggie Jackson, why he just do the Clippers so dirty, bro? He gave them 35 and 13. No Murray, no Jokic, no Gordon.
Jordan hit a dub.
Yeah.
They said he hasn't scored a dub since like forever. 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
No, I didn't person for Reggie. Because, he used to play for the Clippers. Yeah, exactly. And, killing it, bro. But the Western Conference is legit. Mavs, they looking legit. I mean, just needed some chemistry to build that up with between Kyrie and Luka.
That chemistry is there now.
Yeah, bro. Mavs, and then to me, the Thunder, that's my surprise team in the West. I'm really surprised by Minnesota being number one right now. But
That's a big surprise.
A huge surprise. But
I'm not surprised about the OKC Thunder, though.
Okay, how should I play? I hear what you're saying, but actually, you know what?
What seed are
Why are you not surprised?
Because they were good last year.
They were good last year.
And then Shea Alexander-Gilgeous, his mindset, his mentality, you can tell he wants it, and it's more than just the money. He wants to be one of the greats.
Yeah.
Hear him talking.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he do be
got a
balling.
good team. And yeah, I mean, shit, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I think I'm more surprised with the Thunder with their seeding.
What number?
They're the fourth seed right now.
Okay, I mean, cause low key, last year were they in the play-in or they didn't make the playoffs?
They didn't make the playoffs.
They was in the play-in, right?
They was in the play-in.
Okay.
They was right there.
Yeah. But shit, Shea, man, that nigga averaging like shit last year. He was going crazy on the points.
Yeah, he was averaging like 32.
Yeah.
31, 32
wow.
a game. Yeah, and he be doing all middies.
He do.
He be doing all middies out here. He don't be shooting a lot of threes out
he
here.
Don't. He's like a more efficient DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, basically. Younger too. Yeah, so yeah, bro. Western Conference is pretty legit. Right now the Warriors are out of the playoff picture, but this is still early in the season.
They could be make or break type of team. I feel like they could be good or they could be bad. It's gonna be interesting to see how that play out for them. Yeah.
Then you got looking at the Kings. Kings is balling.
Yep. That's expected.
Yeah, that's expected. Coming off that season they had last year. Yep. Phoenix, bro, they won they last 7 games.
Really? What seed are they?
They currently right now sitting in that 6th seed.
Okay.
They're sitting in the 6th seed,
it's
but
tough out there, man.
It is. I mean, there's really no error. I mean, no slither of error you can really have. Because these guys are so stacked up. I mean, you're talking between the first and right now the 6th seed is only 2 games between.
Yeah, I can change daily pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Basically. And currently right now, like I just said, Warriors and Clippers, they are out of the – well, I didn't mention the Clippers prior, but the Warriors and the Clippers are out of the playoffs right now.
What about the Lakers?
The Lakers are in the playoff seed. I think they just beat Detroit pretty badly too. And I caught a little bit of that game, so that just pretty much wrapped up. So yeah, everything else is pretty, expected. Yeah. But is there anybody that you have been looking at the league that you like, man, like I didn't know they was gonna come out like this. You think about like
the Rockets as a team. I like how they've been playing. Shit, I don't know, man. I mean, Boston. I think Boston's the best team in the East right now.
Yeah,
they're expected to kind of go all the way. Shit, Stephen A. Smith said they gonna win a championship.
It really, to me, depends on Tatum, though.
Yeah,
because they're good enough to get there. But they need him to be like a top 5 player.
I don't think they can beat Denver Nuggets.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I think I could see them like fold in some way somehow. You know what I mean? Like
mental lapses.
Mental lapses, like a motherfucker. Like it can be even from Jaylen Brown too, like low key, because he's not the most solid guy, reputation wise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you talking about like in those deep
when they
games.
need him the most.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be there? Like it's still some speculation on that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as Boston.
But they got Drew Holiday, though.
They do.
That's a very solid piece to have. In case one of them is not necessarily having their best outing, he's more than capable to kind of like get you 30 in a game or 25
in the playoffs
with good defense.
In the playoffs too.
Yeah. So I mean that pickup on their part is huge. But I want to give a friend of mine credit for this, bro. I was talking about like what would help the Bulls from a point guard position. Who's available out there?
We should have got Fred VanVleet.
I wish we got Fred VanVleet. That'd have been like that'd have been amazing if we would have got him and Nick Nurse, because Nick Nurse is over there in Philly and they're playing exceptional coaching wise. But who else is available right now out there? Because all the trades with Milwaukee and Portland is Malcolm Brogdon. I wish we would have got a guy like him, because Malcolm Brogdon, he don't really make a lot of mental mistakes. He's a solid basketball player, big guard. When Milwaukee was going on a run right after they had Drew Bledsoe, and Drew Bledsoe was not really playing up to par in the playoffs. You know, a lot of turnovers and what have you. They ended up getting Malcolm Brogdon. This is like right before they got Drew Holiday. But Malcolm Brogdon like helped elevate them just on a decision-making standpoint. And then obviously he played at Boston, you know, and he's played, you know, for San Antonio as well too early in his career. So he's always been a disciplined point guard. You know, he's not going to get the gaudy numbers, but the Bulls don't really need a guy that can get you 15 assists. They really just need a guy that knock down wide open jump shots, play defense, don't turn the ball over. Control the tempo, exactly. Get Zach and DeRozan, if we're keeping Zach, that is. Get them in their preferred positions, like on the court.
You gotta be a floor general.
Exactly, and I think a guy like him would be perfect to have, and he can stop the bleeding that the Bulls are enduring right now. But that's that, man. Anything else you feel like saying about what we got going on right now?
Man, I'm just holding on to see what happens to the Bulls, because I just feel like this team might not stay the same.
Yeah. So. It's looking like it, bro. It's really looking like it. They play the Milwaukee Bucks next. They're on a 5-game losing streak. Yeah, it's tough out here, bro. It's tough out here. So that's what they got next. We'll see how that turn out. You know, we'll definitely be back next week. You know, tune in. We appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe. You know, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on TikTok. You know, we record videos of current plays that's going on with the Chicago Bulls. But let us know how y'all feel. Love y'all. Tune in next week. Check it out. Peace.
See y'all next week.